Russia's losing ground on the battlefield, and we see Ukraine's incredible innovation when it comes to drone, for example, on the battlefield. It's losing ground diplomatically, and it was hoping for a long time to divide Europeans, that we would weaken our resolve. We've seen exactly the opposite. We just recently finalized a 90 billion euro package to Ukraine. Remember that, just about a year ago when we had President Zelensky's meeting in the Oval Office with Trump and Vance, a lot of people said that Ukraine would be forced into a capitulation in 24 hours and Europeans would not be around the table. What we've seen is Europeans step up and now provide the bulk of the support to Ukraine. And we see Russia losing ground everywhere diplomatically. I was just in Armenia recently for the European political community, where we also had the EU-Armenia state visit. One more country like Moldova, like Sweden and Finland that joined NATO, that wants to get rid of Russia's tutelage and get closer to Europeans' norms and standards. This is the reality of Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine.
If that is the case, as you say, and Russia is being weakened by Ukraine's resistance, isn't that then an opportune moment for Europe to step in and to say, it's time to talk? I know President Emmanuel Macron has previously called for this.
No, you're right. President Macron has always said that when the time is right, we should have our own channel of communication with Russia, because there's no reason to let the Americans alone at the negotiation table when, first and foremost, it's the security of Europe that's at stake. Now, you have to look at the reality, which is that Russia is not engaging seriously in diplomacy. It's not interested in the ceasefire and peace. It continues its escalation. So I think the key now is to continue to provide our support to Ukraine. It's to continue to increase the pressure on Russia economically. We just recently passed the 20th package of sanctions. We need to continue.
So just for clarity, I understand you're saying now is not the right time. And if so, doesn't it make sense for Europe, nonetheless, to be preparing for that time, including thinking of who could do this role, who has the credibility, the clout to speak to the Russians?
No, look, I see that this debate is going on in the media and the commentary, and you're right that, once again, Europeans need to take matters in their own hand, and so there's no reason why we should let others negotiate on the behalf of the European security architecture. So Europeans should be ready also to have their own diplomatic track, as President Macron has said repeatedly. But I would say our priority now, clearly, is to continue to support Ukraine, to continue to increase the pressure on Russia.